cloud, and then I'll just pin my screen so it won't ding on anyone else. Okay. All right. So welcome to the slow flow. Tonight's focus is to take up mindful space and do some mindful movement as you take up the space. So, you know, when we move energy around, it can be so easy just to put it out there and just not deal with it. And with tonight's flow, it's you're creating the energy and then you're moving it mindfully. Okay, so there's going to be some arm movement and some torso action. And so the first part will be warming up the spine and all the fun spinal movements. We'll get into a little slow sun salutation, and then we'll start building and having some fun from there. Right. So just to start, I like you to come into a comfortable seated position. Sit bones are rooted and connected onto your mat. If you feel like you want to connect the left and the right, or you feel a little imbalanced just between the left and the right, bring the bottoms of the feet together like a book. And you can place your thumbs into the middle part of the feet if you would like. But wherever you're at, you find this connection to the earth, and this is what creates your anchoring foundation. So you know that you can come back to the spot to root down and to ground down. And it's a nice way too, just to kind of send your energy somewhere as well. So if you're moving around a bit, you can always place your fingers on the ground, your sit bones on the ground, and find this connection once again to direct the energy into the earth and let it neutralize. So placing your hands maybe on your thighs or on your feet, sit up nice and tall, and let's bring this practice together with a few deep cycles of breath before I let you go and explore a pace and rate that's going to work for you in this practice. So drawing the inhale in through the sit bones, imagine that the inhale is coming up the spine, out to the crown of the head. And then as you exhale, sending the breath all the way back down the spine. Inhale. And then as you exhale, you can side out, but you're sending the energy back into the earth to root back down. One more breath collectively. And then drop into 10 cycles of breath. The timing is going to be my pace, but I want you to set a pace and rate that works for you. Five more cycles of breath. And with these last few breaths, just bringing your awareness to this practice, maybe as you inhale, you can imagine you're saying the word I am. And as you exhale, peace. And then if you brought your feet together like a book, I want you to come into an easy pose where the legs are stacked in front of each other. Reach your arms up high to the sky. Let the fingertips touch, and then bring the fingertips back down to the earth. Inhale. Fingertips touch. Exhale, fingertips touch the earth. All right, as you inhale, allow your fingertips to touch, but keep the scapula sliding down and away from the ears. And then try to keep the arms in a stable movement, coming down, touching the earth. Great. Reach the arms up high. Keep the right hand lifted as you place the left hand down. Sit bones rooted down to the earth. This is your anchoring. And then laterally bend over towards the left. Reach the right fingertips towards the left side, and then maybe walk a little deeper if you would like. Deepen your side bend. Okay. I want you to be certain that you have space in the vertebra, and then you can keep the gaze at the left knee or slowly start rotating, looking up towards the sky. So even in this beginning moments, you're just playing around with the movement of how you can get a little bit bigger and take up a little more space. One more deep cycle of breath. See if you can get the entire torso involved. And then as you inhale, reach both hands back up towards the sky, fingertips nice and wide. Fold forward on the exhale. Let the fingers touch the ground first, and then slowly walk forward. One more breath here, but once again, I want you to breathe now in the back side of the torso, so that posterior side. And then begin to walk yourself back up on the inhale, sitting up nice and tall. And then switch the cross of your legs. Okay, fingertips ground back down. Inhale, reach both arms up. And then set your right fingertips down. Allow the left fingertips to reach up towards the sky. Inhale, reach the fingertips a little bit higher. And then fold over towards the right side as you exhale, keeping your sit bones rooted down. And you play around with the depth, and you know that, it's going to be different between left and right. Looking at the right knee, or slowly rotating, looking up towards the sky. Keep the left fingertips reaching away. And you practice breathing, taking up space in your body. And then your next inhale will guide both arms up high. And then you fold forward as you exhale, letting the fingertips touch first, and then walking forward. And drop back into practicing the deep cycles of breath, breathing in the back body. One more big breath. And then walk yourself up slowly as you inhale. Great. Okay. Reach your arms up high. Set your right fingertips behind you. And then place the left hand on the right knee. Okay, you're nice and tall here. Drop the shoulders down and away from the ears. Take your full deep cycle of breath. And then allow the exhale to guide you to twist a little bit more to the right. Being gentle here. And then find that sweet spot and then take your gaze out over the right shoulder. And let each inhale, see if you can expand the chest and the torso a little bit wider. And let the exhale ground you, ground the energy. And then slowly and carefully bring yourself back into the center and unwind. Place both hands back on the knees. Nice full inhale. Once again, bringing the inhale up through the spine. And exhale, let it root back down. Great. Change the cross of the legs one last time. Okay. From here, reach the arms up high. Set the left fingertips down and then guide the right hand over towards the left knee. You focus on keeping the shoulders dropping down and away from the ears. So as you twist now, so you can start twisting, you can create and keep the space. So when you inhale, you can allow the torso to get a little bit larger. And as you exhale, maybe you explore going a little deeper in the twist. You have one more deep cycle of breath here. And then take your full inhale. And guide yourself back to center, hands on the knees as you exhale. Beautiful. All right, come on to hands and knees. So let's play around with gravity here. Knees are underneath the hips, hands are spread nice and wide, and it's always nice just to rock back on the heels of the hands and then set each finger down one at a time. So even as you move around, things will shuffle. You're starting with a solid foundation, and then maybe tap the tops of the feet onto the mat and feel this connection in the center of the legs. I'm gonna walk my hands in a bit. Okay, and then push the knees and push the hands ever so gently into your mat so you can create some height. And then drop the belly, tuck under the toes, look on up, cow pose. And then chin in the chest, belly button in the spine, tops of the feet are onto the mat in your cat. And really create some space by pushing the mat away. And then as you inhale, drop the belly, pull the sternum on through, look on up, cow. Exhale, find your cat. And now you flow at the pace of your breath. Reminding yourself, cow on the inhale, cat on the exhale. And then, if you want, you can come forward and back. Maybe you make some circles. Just start bringing awareness to some areas that feel good or maybe feel tight. And then find the stillness once again in your tabletop pose. Okay. Lift your right leg off the mat at hip height. Okay, I want you to be careful that you don't dump everything into the left leg. Push out through your right heel. Stay nice and strong, and then as you exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, right leg comes long. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, right leg comes long. Knee to nose on the exhale and hold and squeeze. And then your right leg comes long. Set your right toes down and then slide the right toes to the outside of your left foot. Okay, take your full inhale. As you exhale now, look over the left shoulder. Take a peek at your right toes. And then inhale, come into center. Full inhale, exhale, look over the left shoulder, peek at the right toes. Come back into center. One last time. Peek, look over the left shoulder to the right toes. And then draw yourself back to center slowly. Slide the right toes. Lift the right leg and then bring the right knee underneath the hands. Okay, maybe you take a cat-cow to reset. Second side. Left leg comes back and lifts. Pointing your left toes down. Staying nice and strong. Don't feel like you're dumping to the outside of the right hip. And then as you exhale, knee comes to nose, round the back. Inhale, give yourself some length. Exhale, knee comes to nose. Inhale, give yourself length. And then exhale, knee comes to nose, hold. Full inhale. And then as you exhale, extend your left leg long and set your left toes down. Guide the left toes now to the outside of the right foot. Take your full inhale. Look over the right shoulder as you exhale, peeking at the left toes. And then come back to center. And then look over the right shoulder. Come back into center. And then look over the right shoulder. Come back into center and slowly bring the left leg back up and then left knee. Bring the big toes together. Send the bum back towards the heels, finding child's pose. Okay, you just did a lot of movement in the spine, so I want you to come back to that deep cycle of breath where you're breathing into the back body. 3 big breaths here. 2. And last big breath. And then you'll slowly and carefully roll forward, coming into your first downward dog. And you have 5 breaths here. So maybe with the first few breaths, you find movement. And then try with the last 2, finding stillness. All right, 2 breaths. And then take your big inhale. Shift forward on your exhale. All right, pushing the mat away, sliding the shoulders away from the ears. Toes are connected, heels are out. Let's stay here for 3 cycles of breath. Drop the knees if you need to, and I want you to feel good about getting nice and big in the torso. Last breath. Full inhale. Lower down as you exhale. And then with the palms underneath the shoulders, the taps of the feet on the mat, roll the chin, roll the chest up, baby cobra. Or if you're feeling good, you can come up a little higher. Keep the elbows in tight. Slide the shoulders down away from the ears, and you've got another cycle of breath here. And then find your downward dog. Okay. Lift your your left leg high. Bend your left knee and stack your left hip on top of the right. Maybe spread the left toes. Find some movement. Reverse the movement. And then find your three-legged downward dog. And then step your left foot through to your hands. Whether you want to bring the knees to nose or knee to nose, that's fine. So you're in your high runner's lunge. And then drop your right knee down. It's always nice to just bring into a low lunge here. And then with your right hand planted, lift your left hand high to the sky. And then as you exhale, thread your left arm underneath your left thigh. Look over your right shoulder. Inhale, reach the left arm up. Exhale, left arm under. Look over your right shoulder. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, left arm under. Look over your right shoulder. And then reach your left arm up. And then if you can, tuck under your right toes and lift your right knee, right heel. And then you'll set your right heel down as you reach your left arm back and right arm forward, coming into your dragonfly pose. And if you have to look over to the side, that's fine, but then slowly bring your gaze to look over your right fingertips. Okay, so you have a gentle twist going here. Can you make your inhale nice and large and ground as you exhale? And then drop your left hand to the back of the right thigh. Right hand comes high to the sky for your exalted warrior. So don't add the back bend quite yet. Keep the knee nice and strong. And if you're feeling solid, that's where you can add your back bend. I'm staying nice and tall. All right, gaze is forward, right hand is up. Have your left hand meet your right hand. Now you're in your warrior one. And then maybe give yourself a little cactus arms, gentle heart opening here. All right, full inhale. Let your exhale frame your left foot and guide you back into your plank pose. And then lower down slowly, coming into your downward dog. All right, 2 more breaths. Last breath. And then reach your right leg high. Bend your right knee, stack the hips. Make any movement you need. And reverse direction. And then the right leg comes high. Step your right foot through to your hands, high runner's lunge first. And then gently guide your left knee down, low lunge. Left hand is planted, right hand comes up high. And then thread the right hand underneath the right thigh. Exhale. Inhale, reach up high. Exhale, right hand under right thigh. Look over the left shoulder. One more time. Reach up high. Hand underneath the thigh. Look over the right or left shoulder. And then reach the right arm up. And then rooting down onto the right foot, tuck under the left toes, lift the left knee. And then use your inhale to guide yourself up into your dragonfly pose. And then take your gaze to look out over your left fingers. All right, little gentle twist is going on here. Bring the belly button into the spine. Take your full inhale. Ground on your exhale. Right hand to the back of the left thigh. Left hand is high to the sky. And I forgot, set your left heel down. All right, bend is strong in the right knee. Take the back bend easy or stay tall. One more big breath. And then reach your right hand to meet your left, warrior one. Cactus your arms, open up the chest. And then reach your arms up high. And then frame your right foot meets left, plank pose. Lower down slowly, cobra on the inhale. Downward dog on the exhale. All right, 2 more breaths. Reach your left leg high. Step your left foot through to your hands, plant your right heel, reach up, warrior 1. Reach your right arm forward, left arm back, dragonfly. And then reach your left hand to the back of the right thigh, right hand comes high to the sky, exalted warrior. And then take your full inhale. Open up to your warrior 2 on the exhale. So you're bringing the right arm back, left arm is forward. You're rotating your torso now. Looking over the left fingertips. And then place your hands onto your hips. Turn your left toes out, right toes out. And then right toes towards the back of the mat. Open up to your warrior 2 facing the back of the mat. Beautiful. And then find your warrior 1 facing the back of the mat. And then drop your right hand to the back of the left thigh. Left hand is high to the sky for your exalted warrior. And then reach your right arm to meet your left. Open up to your warrior 2 facing the front of your mat. Hands on the hips, turn the right toes in. Left toes face the front, warrior 2. And then cartwheel your hands, frame your left foot. Left foot meets right, plank pose. Slowly and carefully take it through your flow, meet in downward dog. All right, 2 more breaths. Reach your right leg high. Step your right foot through. And then reach up, warrior 1. And then right hand to the back of the left thigh. Left hand is high to the sky, exalted warrior. Ooh, I missed one, but that's okay. And then reach your right hand high, open up to warrior 2. I get so excited, I missed an arm movement, but that's okay. Hands on hips, turn your right toes out. And then the left toes to the back of the mat, open up the arms, warrior 2. Warrior 1, reaching the arms up high. Left hand to the back of the right thigh, right hand is high to the sky. And then reach your right arm back, left arm forward, warrior 2. Hands on hips, turn the toes out, right toes towards the front of the mat, warrior 2. All right, cartwheel your hands, frame your right foot meets left foot, plank pose. And then slowly and carefully take through your flow. All right, downward dog for 3 cycles of breath. And then we're gonna move a little bit so we can get a little yoga brain and yoga body going. All right, reach the left leg high. Left foot steps through to the hands, reach up, warrior 1. Right arm forward, left arm back. Left hand to the back of the right thigh, right hand is high to the sky. Okay, you are going to take a nice full inhale, and as you exhale, sweep your right hand all the way down towards the right foot. Turn your right toes towards the back of the mat. Reach both hands high. All right, you're with me, warrior one to the back of the mat. Reach the right hand back, left arm forward or high. Exalted warrior. All right, take it back. So left hand sweeps down. You come all the way around. This time come to exalted warrior, coming to the front of the mat. So right hand is high, left hand to the back of the right thigh. Stay with me. One more time. Sweep the right hand down, take up space. Then come to exalted warrior at the back of the mat. Right hand to back of left thigh, left hand is high to the sky. Beautiful. Reach the right arm up. And then open up to the warrior two, facing the back of the mat. And then straighten your right leg as you reach the right arm forward and down. Triangle pose. One more breath. And then bring the left hand down and walk your hands towards the side of your mat, coming into a wide-legged forward fold. Get a little movement, get a little mental movement. Feel good about taking up space. Drop back into your breath if you lost the deep cycles, because you did. And then walk your hands towards the left side of the mat. Come into a high runner's lunge facing the front of the mat. Step your left foot back, plank pose. And then lower down and take it through your flow. Finding your downward dog. Two more breaths. So if you felt klutzy or clumsy the first round, you got a second chance. And don't worry. Usually when I do something like this, there's one that I feel klutzy on. So here we go. Reach the right leg high. Step the right foot through. Set your left heel down. Set yourself up for your warrior one. Reach the left arm forward, right arm back. Drop the right hand to the back of the left thigh. Left hand is high to the sky. Take your full inhale. And then as you exhale, sweep the left hand down. And then use it so you can come into exalted warrior on the other side. So first, come into your warrior one and then reach the left arm back, right arm high. All right, go ahead, sweep yourself back. This time come into exalted warrior. Right hand back, left hand high, facing the front of the mat. One more full inhale. And then as you exhale, come into your exalted warrior to the back side. So the right hand is high, the left hand is back to the right thigh. And then you open up to your warrior two. Woo. And then straighten the left leg. Find your triangle pose by sending the right hip back, left hand forward, and then left hand comes down, right hand comes high. And if you're feeling like you need a little love in the low back, bring the left hand up. If you want a little love in the leg, left hand comes down. But the chest stays open. You feel good about taking up space. Deep cycles of breath here. And then take a peek at your left toes. Bring the right hand down and walk yourself into your wide-legged forward fold. Now the hands can be connected and rooted down. But if you feel like your foundation is good, go ahead and bring the hands behind the back. You know, and you can interlace the fingers and take the hands up high to the sky, giving a little opening in the pecs. But if you want that grounding, hands touch the ground. Then you drop back into your deep cycles of breath. One more breath. And then walk your hands to frame your right foot so you can come into your high runner's lunge. Have your right foot meet your left foot, plank pose. And then carefully take it through your flow. Meeting in downward dog. Okay. And then slowly and carefully walk your feet to the back of your hands. Can you believe it? This is your first forward fold of the practice. I can because I love downward dogs and I usually skip the folds. Okay, make peace fingers and go in between the big toe and the second toe. Lift the big toe and set your peace fingers down. Okay, bend the knees if you need to. And then as you inhale, just straighten the legs best as can be. Kind of come up halfway. And then as you exhale, fold. And as you inhale, you find a version of a halfway lift. And then exhale and fold. And go at the pace of your breath. Getting a little more movement in the spine. And then let's meet in a fold with the knees generously bent so we can release the hands. And then hands on the hips, come on up halfway. And then bring yourself all the way up. Cool. Hands come down to the side, standing up nice and tall. Okay, let's have a little more fun here. So root down on your left foot. Hands can be on the hips, or maybe you bring your hands into heart center, but you keep the shoulders down and away from the ears. And then I want you to gently step the right toes back so they're touching the mat. All right, have a grounding on the left foot, and your challenge here is to keep the balance on the left foot as you lift the right leg up and then tap the right toes down. Lift the right leg up, tap the right toes down. Lift and lower, lift and lower. This time lift. Notice if you've changed your weight or shifted your weight, see if you can shift it back. And then as you feel ready, slowly bring the right knee into your chest. Standing up nice and tall, finding that grounding foundation. And then cross the right ankle over the left knee, making a figure 4 pose. And then slowly sitting into your chair. And if you want, you can place the hands onto the ground and find your focal point. So you're in a little bit of a balance here, and I want you to keep your deep cycles of breath. So full inhale, grounding exhale. And then let your next inhale push you up. Bring the right knee forward and set your right foot down. Reach your arms up high. Fold forward. Halfway lift. Fold. And then reach your arms up high. And bring them down to the side. Okay, you take a full cycle of breath here in this mountain pose. You don't rush into the next thing. You want to be rooted and grounded. And then hands into prayer or on the hips. Root down through the right foot. Step the left toes back so they touch your mat. And then as you inhale, lift the left leg. Set the left toes down. Lift and lower. Lift and ground. Lift and ground. Lift and hold. Make sure the weight didn't shift too much on the right foot. Fix it if you need to. And then bring the left knee into the chest. Hug the left knee into the chest. Find that grounding foundation you created in the beginning. Open up the torso. And then cross the left ankle over the right knee, figure 4. And then you lower into your figure 4 chair pose. And you drop back into your breath. See if you can get really big. I got really excited there. I hope you all feel like you can get really big, like a big hibernating bear that got woken up. One more big breath here. Stay with me. You're good. You're great. And then as you inhale, you bring yourself up, bring the left knee up, and then exhale, set the left foot down, reach the arms up high. Fold forward. Hands touch the mat. And then find your halfway lift. And then plant your hands down as you step your right foot back, high runner's lunge. And then guide your left foot to the left side of the mat. Bring your left foot in. And then set your right knee down, lizard pose. Untuck the right toes. But I should warn you, if you have a tight quad, if you notice your quads were tight, bring the right knee closer to the hip. If you're like, hey, I want a little more stretch, then bring the right knee back. Okay, we have our grounding foundation here. Drop back into 10 deep cycles of breath. I know, if you want to lower on your forearms, you can. And you can come back to that mantra, I am peace. 5 more breaths. If you feel that connection or that balance waver, shift it back into center. Two more breaths. So if you went on your forearms, come back onto palms. This last breath, we're together. And then heel toe the left foot over to the right hand and set your left knee down. So now you're in your pigeon pose. And you might have to adjust. A little tighter than I thought. And then come up nice and tall in your king pigeon, nice and proud. And then fold forward. Coming into a recline pigeon. Once again, 10 deep cycles of breath, and I know it seems like a lot, but this is really your moment to check in and just find some stillness and peace and some grounding and centering within. It's your opportunity to really create and move the energy mindfully so you're not projecting everything, even internally and externally. 5 more deep cycles of breath. One more. And then slowly and carefully place the palms underneath your shoulders, tuck under your right toes, lift your right knee high. And then just bring yourself back into a downward dog. Let's do that. 3-legged downward dog. And then set your left foot down. And then we'll do this a little backwards. That's okay. Reach the right leg high. Step the right foot to the outside of the right hand, your lizard pose. And then guide your left knee down and decide where it needs to be placed for you before you set your left foot down. And then you can stay up nice and tall, or you can come onto forearms, depending, what you want and what you need in your practice. You have 10 deep cycles of breath here. Come back to that mantra, I am peace. Okay, for these last 5 cycles of breath, stay strong, whether you lowered or you kept on palms. Don't lose the structure, the strong structure that you've built. Stay with it. 2 more breaths. So if you're on your forearms, come up onto palms. And then slowly heel toe the right foot over towards the left side of the mat. Set the right knee down. Find your pigeon pose. Come up nice and tall and then fold forward. Dropping back into your deep cycles of breath. Five more breaths. Two more breaths. All right, for this last breath, slowly push yourself up. Tuck under the left toes. Take the right leg high, right leg to right foot, or right foot to the ground. Walk your feet to the back of your hands, and then drop the bum gently onto the mat. Okay. Hug the knees into the chest and just come up nice and tall. Crown of the head reaches high. Feet are planted. And then lower down, one vertebra at a time. Okay, I want you to feel rooted and grounded. And I always say the supine, but we need to do this body scan because sometimes things shift when it lands. So walk the feet so you can feel that they're connected and flat. I'm not going to be picky about distance from bum or to the side. I just want you to feel connected. And then tip the pelvis towards 6, the pelvis towards 12, and then maybe you take it over to 3 and 6, but then you feel how everything connects. And then you work your way up your spine. So you feel the low back kind of connect. It'll arch up naturally. If you tuck the pelvis towards 12, it does come flat. And then work your way up the spine, and you slowly start feeling the lower scapulas, and then you kind of move and shift them around. And then you reach maybe the fingertips towards your heels so you can create some space in your neck and rock your head from side to side. Great. And then maybe you windshield wiper the knees from side to side, just a little bit. They don't need to drop off totally, but you get this movement going in the lower vertebra and even a little bit in the SI joint, which is always so nice. Okay, find your feet flat. Okay, so from here, hug your left or your right knee hugs into the chest. And then I want you to just come out onto the lateral pinky edge of the left foot, and you let the left knee drop off gently. So you're coming into a supine corkscrew pose. And if you're like, no, you can keep the left foot flat, because you'll feel this in your adductors, the inner thigh. And then take your peace fingers. Once again, take a hold of the right toe and then send your right foot high. So now you're in your corkscrew pose, and you feel the shoulder blade connect onto the mat. And then try to make sure that you don't lose the integrity in the left leg as you reach your right leg high. And try not to let the shoulder blade round in, and then bring the right knee in, right shoulder blade connects. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, come on up. And then exhale, lower. Stay in this stillness. And then set your left foot onto the mat. Let it connect. And then let your left knee and right knee meet, hugging into the chest, giving them a nice squeeze. And then setting the right foot down. Left knee is hugged in. And you have this grounding foundation. letting the right knee drop off gently. So some of us, our right leg is going to come down. Others of us, it's going to be gentle. And some of us are like, no, I want my right foot connected. Peace fingers. Hook onto the left big toe. And then when you're ready, left foot comes high. So now you're in your supine corkscrew. And then carefully and slowly reach your left leg high. Bring the left knee in. Reach the left leg high. And left knee comes in. And it's so subtle. It's so subtle. Left leg comes high. And then the left knee comes in and hold, and you find the stillness. And you invite the right foot to connect back onto the mat. And you hug both knees into the chest. And maybe you move the hips in a circular motion. And then you reverse direction. And then hug the knees in. And then send both legs high to the sky for your inversion. Now, if you have any other inversion in your practice, you can go there, but no, I won't cue out of it. So I trust that you will cue out of any variation you choose. So you find this connection in the low back and you drop back into the deep cycles of breath. And maybe the palms turn up to be a little more receptive. Last 3 big cycles of breath here in this inversion. Take your full inhale. Exhale, hug the knees back into your chest. Give them a beautiful squeeze, maybe rocking from side to side. And then extend one leg long, followed by the other, and reach the fingertips away. Get really long. And then allow the toes to turn out and bring the arms down to the side, but don't let them touch your body. You know, take up a little bit of space here. Coming into your Shavasana pose, knowing that I am minding the time for you, and I will call you back, but I want you to drop into your deep cycles of breath. So maybe you start with taking a nice full inhale in. Slow exhale out. Inhale in. Exhale out. Take your nice full inhale in through your nose. And let your exhale be a release. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Give yourself another full body stretch. Exhale, come onto the right side. Stay in this fetal position for a few deep cycles of breath and see here if you can feel the torso rise and expand. And then ground on the exhale. And then push yourself up, come into a seated pose. Palms connect back onto your thighs for a few deep cycles of breath. And then reach the arms up overhead, bring the palms together in prayer, and then the prayer to heart center with a soft bow. I honor this place inside of me in which the entire universe dwells. It is a place of peace, it is a place of tranquility, and it is a place of calm. And when I am in this place in me and you are in this place in you, together we are one. Namaste. Okay.